Microtransactions have been a hot topic within the gaming industry, but a common trend I often see is people wanting the return of map packs over paid cosmetics. For those that were too young to remember, multiplayer games used to make extra cash off DLC packs that contain a certain amount of extra maps or modes for players to play around in. Games like Call of Duty offered 4 DLC maps every 3 months until the next Call of Duty game released, and the cycle would continue. In recent years, game developers start to move away from that system in favor of other systems like loot boxes, battle passes, or stores for cosmetics. Needless to say, those methods sparked controversy. Loot boxes were seen as unrestricted gambling, with some countries outright banning them entirely. Battle passes are seen as a form of progression locked behind a paywall, and stores have gained a bad reputation for trying to sell skins at abysmal amounts of cash. This got gamers high on nostalgia, reminiscing a simpler time when DLC map packs were the only forms of microtransactions we had to worry about. But those people are now saying that we should go back to that system since they claim it was better than what we have now. But was it actually better than what we have now? In my opinion, no, and here's why. Before I explain why, let me clarify a few things. I am not saying the quality of video games now are better than before. I'm not saying I enjoyed the fact that games like Halo are making players pay for the color purple when it was free in every other iteration. There is definitely an issue with developers abusing the popularity and wealth to produce half-baked, incomplete AAA titles, and this video is not denying that. All I'm focusing on are the microtransaction methods we currently have now and what we had before. So let's start with that. What did you get out of these map packs? I'm going to be using Call of Duty and Halo as examples since those are the games I'm more familiar with when it comes to DLC. For Halo, you usually get 3 new maps per pack with $10 or 800 Microsoft points per pack. Call of Duty gave you 4 maps, with some games even giving extra modes for $15 a pack with a discount if you pre-ordered all the packs with a season pass. Let's compare that to what we have now. Loot boxes would give you cosmetics through gambling, but I think we could all agree that loot boxes were pretty shit, so let's ignore them for this video. Battle passes tried to fix that issue by giving skins and other items through a linear progression system, but that progression system was locked behind a paywall of around $10 to $20. Stores are pretty straightforward. You could browse skins, check their prices, and see if they're worth purchasing. The problem is that the skins were often not worth the prices, and they use the fear of missing out method. So after a certain time, the item will disappear from the store, and there's a decent chance that it may never come back. Just by listening to how I word these methods, map packs seem like they're the better option, but there's one big difference between map packs and battle passes and stores. Map packs often affected how someone was going to enjoy a game, while cosmetics didn't. You don't need to have the nicest, flashiest skin to enjoy a game. Buying a champion skin in Valorant isn't going to turn you into 10s. Using a Neon Norse skin in CSGO isn't going to fix your aim, and using Genji's cyborg skin in Overwatch isn't going to increase the chances of you getting a 6-man blade. They're called cosmetics for a reason. All they do is make you look cooler than you actually are. Not buying a skin isn't the end of the world. You could exclusively use the default skins and play the game just like everyone else. It's even a rule in some games to use the default skins in pro play. You might look less cool pulling off an insane clutch, but you'll still have the same chances of pulling it off as someone with a skin would. While map packs did offer more for less, if you didn't buy these map packs, you were left out on half of what the game offered. If you wanted to play Call of Duty Zombies in Advanced Warfare, you had to pay $15 per level. If you wanted the full zombie story in pretty much any Call of Duty game that offered it, you had to cough up the full $60 on top of the $60 you already spent on the game itself. If you wanted to play the new Halo 3 maps, you had to pay $10 per pack. If you didn't purchase any of this, you were out of luck. All you could do now was watch YouTube videos on it and watch your friends who could afford the packs enjoy them without you. Map packs not only split the player base between DLC owners and non-DLC owners, it also affected the long-term memories of these games. I'm sure some of you can remember trying to complete every Easter egg that came with every Zombies release. I don't. While I grew up and experienced the so-called golden age of online gaming, I wasn't fortunate enough to purchase map packs or any form of DLC back in the day. If you had strict paranoid parents like mine that actually believed video games rotted your brain, you'd be lucky to get a new game when it released and be given the time to actually play the game. Purchasing a map pack wasn't even an option for us. We were just thankful to be able to play the base game, because trying to explain the importance of map packs to our parents ended in them forcing us to go outside to do more important things like smoke weed and become an alcoholic, which is exactly what I did in my college years, and now they're glad I play a few hours of video games every time I come home from work.
Now that's a pro gamer move.
This isn't an issue with most recent releases. Call of Duty games after Black Ops 4 gave all the DLC maps and modes to every player at the same time for free for everyone. And thanks to the implementation of crossplay, those maps and modes are going to be populated for years to come. Even with Black Ops Cold War, all the DLC zombie maps released for everyone, so now you can complete the zombie story with your friends without feeling like you missed out on any of the other maps. It also removes the risk of not liking the extra maps and modes, making you feel like you got ripped off. Could you imagine if people had to buy Vanguard zombies only for it to end up becoming the worst zombies experience ever? At least with it being released for free for everyone, there's no harm in trying it out since you're not losing anything but your sanity. Halo did the same thing starting with Halo 5. All the new maps and modes released as free updates. Sure, requisitions sucked and charging players to change the color of their armor isn't cool, but at least you weren't left out on anything gameplay related. So why do some gamers actually believe that map packs were better than what we have now? It's pretty simple. Nostalgia. Thanks to the current state of online gaming, people have been wishing they could go back to the days when gaming felt new and unique and when games felt finished instead of half-baked, but not everything back then was perfect. While map packs sucked, they were a part of the golden age of online gaming, giving the delusion of map packs being a part of what made gaming so great back then when they weren't. It especially tricks those that could afford map packs back in the day, since bringing them back might not be that big of a deal for them, but it is for people like me. To this day, there are still hundreds of maps and dozens of modes I have yet to play since they were locked behind a paywall when they first released, and even as an adult now that could easily go back and purchase these map packs, I still wouldn't do so today since no one plays these DLC features anymore due to them being so old. There just aren't enough players to populate them. I still have yet to fully experience Advanced Warfare Zombies. I still have yet to complete the story of Extinction beyond the first map. I already know how each story ends because I watched them on YouTube, but what I'd give to go back in time as an adult with my adult money to purchase and experience these maps and modes for the first time as they released. But I can't, and being a part of the unfortunate souls that had to suffer watching everyone else play through these maps and modes makes me wish that future generations of gamers don't ever have to worry about that again. And contrary to popular belief, map packs won't fix the problems with modern day gaming. The money you spent on a skin in Call of Duty would be the same money you would purchase a map pack with. Not only will you still have half-baked releases and skins locked behind a paywall, now you'll have content that actually affects the game locked behind another paywall. No form of DLC will change anything if game developers would rather keep the money you spent on DLC in their pockets instead of actually improving the game, which is the real issue of modern day gaming. That is going to be it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on map packs? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe for more content, and I'll talk to you all later.